Hi guys, it's Jennifer, and today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up. I only read 8 books this month, and I'm pretty sure none of them were from my last video that I put like my April TBR. I don't know why, but I got into a book slump in the beginning of the month, and I just didn't read any of the books that I put out there. And I just picked whatever I wanted to read at the moment, and I read that. And I think I'm going to stick with doing that in May too, because I feel like if I give myself like a actual TBR, I just won't follow it. The first book I read was Rebel of the Sands. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. The only reason I didn't give it a 5 stars was because it had a lot of information like dumped right at you at one time. You couldn't like really wrap your head around it. At least I couldn't. I read because they like put a lot of the history in the past into like a storytelling type of way, and I had to reread this like several times because I just couldn't wrap my hand around like the history of it, the history of like this world. In general, this was a really good book and I really did like the story. I really thought this was going to be like one book. When I picked this up, I thought it was only going to be one book. I didn't know this was going to be a trilogy, but I'm excited. I mean, the ending wasn't a cliffhanger, so that was alright. So I'm really excited for the second book. I'll definitely be reading that whenever it comes out. I'm not too sure. But I did enjoy this. I liked it. And I also love the cover. Look at that. That's so pretty. Like, the second book I read was The Elementals by Michelle Maddows. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a very interesting read, and I really did enjoy this. It was very quick to read, which I really like. I like books that were quick. I read it on my phone, so I don't have the physical copy. And I also read the second book, which is The Blood of the Hybrid, and I gave that one a 5 out of 5 stars because it had a lot of action in it, and I really liked it. Like the first book, it had a lot of information and like what's going on, why this is happening, and I really like this, but I like the second book like way better. So I definitely recommend you guys should check it out. I'm gonna put the Goodreads page down below so you guys can read the synopsis and everything, but it's really interesting and it's really quick to read. Also, this series has like 4 or 5 books, and they're all coming out this year. So the first 2 already came out, and I think the next one is in July. And I think the other one is in September, I think, maybe. Anyways, I really like that because they're all coming out in like 1 year, because it makes it way easier since I don't have to like wait so long and like reread the rest. I could just read them all. The third book I read was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I really enjoyed this. I give this 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. I really like this, honestly. And I always loved the movie, and I never read the book. I don't know why. I just never picked up the book. And then I read it in my class because we had to read this. And oh my gosh, I enjoyed this so much. I really do like this. And I love like being in Nick Carraway's like point of view, you know, and seeing how he like views Gatsby and Daisy, Tom, all those characters. I really did like that. I think my favorite character is Nick Carraway. I mean, Gatsby, he's a little obsessed in a way, but it's like I like Gatsby. That's also because I like loved him so much in the movie, because come on, Leonardo DiCaprio, who doesn't love Leonardo DiCaprio? And that's why I really liked like Gatsby. That's because I always just viewed him as Leo, and I really didn't like put another image in my head. Like, I can't think of anyone better to play him than like Leonardo DiCaprio, honestly. Fun fact, I don't know why, but I got like the last sentence of this book like stuck in my head. I read this like a while ago, like a few weeks ago, and I don't know why, but I just can't seem to forget the last sentence. So we beat on, boats against the currents, borne back ceaselessly into the past. I don't know why I remember that, but it's an interesting quote. Yeah, if you guys want to read this, it's really short. It's like 180 pages, so that was like really quick to read. I mean, not really for me because I had to read it in school. We had to read it like chapter by chapter and analyze like each little thing. But yeah, if you're reading this at like your own time, this will be really quick to read. The 5th book I read was Stolen by Lucy Christopher. This was such a good read. I give this a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so interesting to see in the mind of someone that's like experiencing Stockholm Syndrome, and at the end you felt like as confused as she was, and you just felt her emotions, and I really did enjoy that. This is about a girl named Gemma. She gets stolen at the airport by this guy that has been stalking her for a while. He drugs her, he takes her back to Australia where he lives, to the outback, so the middle of the desert. And she's like trying to get away. She hates being there, but like she just, I don't know, you'll see. I'm not going to say much about this book. I think you should really read it to like experience it and feel this book. The next book I read was Percy Jackson. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I love Percy Jackson. I'm rereading all like Percy Jackson books because I never started The Lost Heroes. I have The Lost Heroes right here, and I never started it. I also have Magnus Chase, and I was like, you know what, before I start all of this, I want to reread Percy Jackson, experience it again. So I'm doing that, and obviously I love this. I'm also going to reread Harry Potter this year too, so I'm definitely excited. The next book I read was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, and oh my gosh, this was so good. I give this a 5 out of 5 stars. It messed with my heart, let me tell you that. be prepared. Anyways, I think you could already, like, you're already a little prepared when you see the trailer. Won't say anything more because I don't want to spoil anything. But definitely give this a go. This was amazing. I love Louisa and Will. They were so good together, and I just love when they interact with each other. I don't know why, but I always thought it was so interesting. They're very sarcastic, especially Will. Will is really sarcastic, and I really did like this. The next book I read was After You by Jojo Moyes. It is the sequel to Me Before You. I gave that one like a 2.5. I gave it a 3 on Goodreads because I wanted to round it up, since I didn't want to give such a bad rating to a book. Like, that's the second book to this. That really broke my heart that I really didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. By all means, this book wasn't horrible. It's just, it didn't feel like I wanted it to. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. I think this would have been an amazing book if it was about like different characters. If she changed the characters up and she didn't have, if it wasn't a sequel to Me Before You, I would have loved it. It was like a good book. But there are several things I didn't like about the book. This would have been great as a standalone. No sequel at all. Like, that would have been great. The sequel was just so discouraging. It didn't live up to my expectations. I didn't like it. I don't know. I didn't like it. And I really, really wanted to love it, but I didn't. But yeah. Anyways, please subscribe down below if you did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.